Afternoon, is it morning or afternoon still?
Morning.
Morning, still morning.
By 15 minutes. And welcome to our Springbok team announcement. Head coach Rassie Erasmus, hands up for questions. We'll do Afrikaans at the end for about 5 minutes. Okay.
Rossi, maybe just take us through the changes. You said Saturday night Chisholm had cramps. Currently, you said the mouth got pinked, so he's all right. Chisholm's fine.
I'll take you through everything now. Morning, everybody. Sial, if he gets through training today, he still got niggle on Sunday, yesterday. So we obviously want to get him into the team, but he has to get through today's training. So that's why he's slashed with Paul, and we also don't want to train today. That's why Peter is staying captain. But if Sia gets through, we might make a change there. But we just want to make sure if Sia doesn't get through, then at least we had the captain on the day. So that's why he's slashed with Paul. So if he comes through, he'll replace Paul. Then Cheslin, it's more than just cramps. So he's in amber at this stage. There might be a late change with Cheslin if he really recovers well. We might make a change there, but at this stage I don't think it will be. So that's why we announced the team like it is. Ben Jason have some concussion symptoms which he picked up last week. Buan Venter and Kian Horn is playing for the Lions tomorrow, so they won't be part of our team. And then unfortunately Kanan and Grant, Kanan pulled a hamstring and Grant got an ankle injury. So those are the guys that are out.
Questions? Annemie?
If Sia plays, what happens to Paul? Does he move to the bench?
No, Paul moves out of the team.
Rassie, if Sia does play, obviously brings a lot of leadership to the team, but do you think he can also help maybe with, on Saturday the All Blacks generally found that they were always able to get an extra man out wide. I mean, sometimes they have to be really patient about it, but they did tend to find space out wide. Do you think that's an area Sia can pick up?
I think you're 100% right there. I mean, Paul played really good. I mean, he played well, and there's no reason why we should keep him out. But Sia, Sia is our captain. Peter Steff is doing a sterling job, and Peter is really playing well. And you spot on Sia's got some strengths, which one of them is the attacking breakdown. He's really good at sorting that out fast, which was an area which we struggled with. I think there was lots of times that we played really badly, and not because they did anything illegal. We just couldn't get them away out of the breakdown when we were in really good attacking positions. Sia's really good at that, and then as you rightly say there, he's really good at getting us width on defense. Him and Peter together, Peter Steff together, we call it the gates. They are really well organized in the defensive sets in the gates. So that was definitely something which we lacked. But Paul will just get better. He's only played 4 matches. So yes, I think Sia will definitely help us in those 2 areas.
Hi, Rassie, over here. Hi. Just 2 things. That you said Kanan's injured, so is that put him in doubt for the rest of the series? But also just 48 hours, you've done a bit of an analysis, I'd imagine. What's your more calm take of the first test?
Yeah, no, I was small. I didn't swear. I just said F. I didn't complete it. No, hell, man. They played well. They deserved to win. There was nothing that the referee did wrong. They played really well, and they took us in certain areas to a place that we couldn't handle some stuff. And then when they got their opportunities, they really finished well. I do think the scoreboard doesn't 100% reflect. We certainly, there were stages where I felt we were dominant, and I don't want to say the old normal words. It's just true. We didn't convert those opportunities, over the try line and knock on the ball. 3rd scrum, we get a penalty score with 3 points behind. Maybe we should have taken the points. I take that on me, because I also thought we should go for another scrum, and then unfortunately Gerard walked around a little bit. The ref made the right call there, and then where we thought there was maybe a headshot, which obviously the TMO reviewed, and then from the back of that headshot not being a penalty for us, then we got a yellow card, and 2 yellow cards from that, and then they ran away with another 2 tries, which make the scoreboard looks really bad. But most of the things we inflicted on ourselves, and that's frustrating. I mean, we are irritated with each other inside the camp because yes, they are a very good team and they're number 1 in the world now, and we know the team that chases them to try and get the number 1 spot back again. Do I ever think that during the game there was some stages where we had really good dominance for, I think territory was 60%, possession was a hell of a lot, and we didn't convert that. I thought our defence, although there was 6 tries leaked, was really great up until minute 60. And then a Georgetown try from Grant, you know, and we got penalised for being offsides, and they get away with a little bit being offsides. And with that, I'm not pointing fingers at the referee. Those are things that we normally handled in the past, and we weren't good at handling that in this specific game.
Rassie, could you just maybe elaborate on chest when you said it's more than cramp? Is it
Yeah, it's not even the hamstring anymore. It's a little bit of an ankle as well now.
Rassie, you changed your bench quite significantly. I think there's only 2 of the guys that are there. Does that suggest you didn't, I know you had injuries, but does that suggest you didn't get what you want from your bench?
I think we didn't get what we want from the bench because the guys who started didn't convert when we were there and when we were inside the 22. I mean, we had 11, 22 entries and we got one reward from it. Now that is good defence by New Zealand, great breakdown work by New Zealand, and poor execution by us. So, you know, if the guys who started, and I'm including coaches there, I think me personally made some wrong calls on some of the tactics we wanted to try and do inside the 22. Palliance didn't work, and that's on me. And then the way New Zealand stopped us there. So yes, the bench didn't have the impact, but the guys who started and us as coaches didn't give those guys the platform to actually go on and finish those things. They had to chase the game, and I don't know, what was it, minute 55, minute 60, those 3 scrums there in the middle. I say it again, wrong call, take the 3 points. There's no bonus points. You know, it's a series. It will get 1 in game 3. The series will get 1 or lost or drawn, or can be able to get drawn. So it's a great opportunity lost by us, which we caused on ourselves. But you can't blame it on the bench if the guys who started didn't convert.
Coach, yesterday Dave Rennie said he expected the Springboks to double down on their tactics, scrumming, getting high balls, without giving away the game plan. Is that a fair assumption?
Well, they imprinted their game plan on us. And that's where they were better than us. I mean, it's actually funny. I thought this game, I mean, it was, to all agree, for them it was a beautiful game. For us it was, for 60 minutes, a really well contested game, and then they ran away with us. And funny enough, it's 27 minutes ball and play, you know, and everybody wants to chase ball and play. And so I guess that's gone now. We're just very frustrated with ourselves. We are, I know all of us sit here, we got a hiding, big hiding, of 16 points. So they definitely, what they wanted to do, they got right. I think what we wanted to do, we tried really hard, but then they stopped us with very good tactics at the breakdown. They contested really well at the breakdown. I think we had dominant carries. I think we really had some good momentum. But there was just times when the opportunities was just there for us, and then we just do a stupid breakdown error or playing maybe down the blind or trying to go over forwards again. So as much as we wanted to try and enforce our way of playing, and I think we did. I think we mauled well. I think we scrummed well. I think for 60 minutes we defended well. But then when they got the 2-3 opportunities, like New Zealand, most of the years in the past when we played them, they converted.
Last login question.
Rassie, you said on Saturday it's not a catastrophe. You've been in this situation before. You guys know how to get yourselves out of the hole, so to speak. But was it maybe a concern for you how, from that scrum, things just fell apart a bit from a team that's so experienced?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, it's concerning, and when I say it's not a catastrophe, it's awful. It's shit. It's not nice to be in this position. I mean, I would rather play bad and win than play good and lose. Because I thought for quite a number of minutes we played well, but we lost. So that's frustrating. And now, you know, I don't want to make excuses because what happened to us is on me and is on us as a team. But I think for the first time in a long time, the 5-2-6-3 experiment backfired a bit on us, and I'll say it as it is. But I think odds-wise, if you take it, how many times we've done it, I think this was the first one where when Kirkley got injured, you know, Jesse went to wing, Damon went to outside centre, Andre, where we would have liked to play him, impact flanker, had to go to 12, and then the whole backline was a little bit rejigged, you know. So with that one injury of Kirkley, and that was bad planning by myself, probably a better thing would have been to put Gaza on the wing, put Sasha at fullback, and put Mani at 10. Then the 12-13 stays intact. And, you know, we also had Grant that could have gone to wing, and Kobus just come straight on. I think I made the incorrect sub there by putting Jesse to wing, and then that disjointed the whole attack flow, and obviously some of the defensive stuff.